Friends, welcome to the channel totalconnect.com. In React. Why we will use the how it is different substitute. So we will start with the useReducer hook. So basically, if we use the term hook, that means we are using the function component. So hook works in the functional components. React. Okay. So this useReducer is used in place of useState if you want to perform multiple actions on any state inside your function component. Okay. So basically this useReducer works inside your component only, functional component only. And the difference between the Redux reducer is that the Redux reducer works for all the components, means it works for the whole application level state. Okay. The state that Redux reducer alters is for all the components. Okay, but whereas this useReducer state is only for that particular functional component. Okay. So this is the difference between them. Now let's suppose we have a state here, state, and we have a set state, setter method here, and we are using the use state here, and we have some default value found 0. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to do multiple operations like increment, decrement, so for that you have to create methods. Inside that you have to create the call the set state, and you have to change the data. So you have to create the multiple if else or multiple separate functions to operate some on the state. Okay. So if we want to have some increment rate, so what we will do? We have if you want to create a method increment, then you can do like this. Increment and set state. Then we will call the state dot count. Set state only. Okay, so this is one of the methods. Second method, if you want to uh, perform some other actions on this count, if you want to decrement this data, state data, then you have to write like this. Now, if you have to do some other operations, like if you want to increment with +2, increment 2, so you have to create like this. That means if you want to do something like this, then you have to call this. Okay, and on there should we have a button. And this will be the increment, and the on click will have to call the increment. So this will be the decrement. And here we will print the data count. Now what we will do, if we will click on increment, it is working. Increment 2, incrementing by 2, and decrementing it, decrementing by 1. So if you have multiple operations on the same state, the state is found here, and you have to write multiple functions based on the actions. Okay, so we can change this with reducer. We can do this all with reducer. So what we will have to do with reducer? We will simply use the use reducer. Okay. And reducer will want a reducer method, or you can say function, with switch case inside that and the initial default state. Okay, and here we will rename this to dispatch. Okay, we will comment this out right now. Okay, what we do next is to create a reducer function. So you can create it outside as well. Create the function reducer. Reducer function will give you two parameters. First one will be the state, this state, and second one will be the action. What will be the action? So based on the action, you will have to write the switch case here, switch, and then here we will pass the action, that type. What is the type? We will discuss later. Now the case one, if the action is type is increment, then you have to perform turn state, new state with count state dot count. That is the old state which you are getting it at this state, and will return with incrementing 1. Now similarly with decrement, for increment 2, will have to increment by 2. If you want to use the decrement, then it will be 1. So we have 3 cases, and if you want to add default, you have to return state. So our reducer method is completed. Okay, we have created a function called reducer, and inside the function we will get state and action if we will pass this reducer to useReducer. Okay, and here we have switch case which depend on the action dot type, and if type is increment, it will perform this. It will perform this on increment 2. It will perform on decrement. Okay. Now how to call this action dot type. Okay. So for that, we will have to take the help of this setter method dispatch. It will basically dispatch your action here. Okay. You have to dispatch your action, and your action will meet type because you are mentioning the type here. So this should be mentioned here with whatever the action you want to place. As well. Here we will have increment 2, and here we will have, if you, now we don't need of this function, and with the reducer case. Okay, now check with this, incrementing by 1, incrementing by 1, incrementing by 2, incrementing by 1, decrementing by 1. So if you want to add multiple performance actions, like if you want to add decrement by 2 as well, so simply you have to add the case here that you will have to write. Okay. And here you will have decrement. What will happen? You will have, so it will be replaced by. So this becomes more easy without writing any functions like this. You can use the useReducer in place of useState. This is the dispatch which basically dispatch your action, and the action will have type because we are mentioning this type. If you want to rename it with name, you can simply change it with name or something, whatever you want to. Okay. Then only it will work as well. That means you can give any name here. Okay. And this also, if you want to change this name with any other thing, you can rename it like this as well. Fetch action. So this will also work. Okay. Now you can rename this reducer as well. If you have multiple reducers in the same function, then you can change this to reducer. So you can rename it as count counter reducer, so that you can easily recognize by reading the name that it is the counter reducer. So it is working properly. Okay, so this is the use of useReducer when we want to perform multiple actions on any state data. Then we take the help of useReducer hook inside our functional component. For that, we need a switch case reducer and a default state. It gives you the state and dispatch. With the help of dispatch, we will have to dispatch our action like this. We have to the JSON data with name, or you have to use this action.name here to recognize your action. Okay, and on behalf of that, you have to perform on state and return new state here. So this was in this session, this reducer. So hope you got the stand of reducer. So thanks for watching this session, and like this video, subscribe our channel to get more videos on React. So thanks for watching.